everyone. Today, the book review will be on the right brain approach in homeopathy by Dr. Dinesh, Chauhan and Kumari. It's a beautiful book. Everyone knows Dr. Dinesh Chauhan from Mumbai, India. He is humble, genius and world-renowned homeopath, globally recognized through his innovative method of case-taking, scientifically intuitive case witnessing process. Many congratulations, Dr. Dinesh, for coming up with this wonderful book, A Gift to Humanity.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kavitha.
Thank you so much for honoring us this book, which is a blessing to our study group. There is so much to say, and we welcome Dr. Dinesh. I really enjoyed and learned so much from this book. It is very unique and interesting. I cannot stop reading. So, your severe illness has changed your life and resulted in this wonderful book. Dr. Dinesh, what inspired you to write this beautiful book?
No, this is a perfect question to start with. As people who know me for last 20 years, I have put my all energy into developing simple, scientific, reproducible 3-step of case taking, which I wrote in my book called The Scientifically Intuitive Case Witnessing Process, The Journey of 3-Step. A very systematic, logical, kind of guided steps to do simple, scientific, reproducible case taking. And after that, I produced the step in children, and then in different and difficult conditions. Like in children, I wrote a book called A Wonder with Little Wonder. Then in non-verbal children, then in old age, then in psychiatry, cancer, deep pathology, one-sided disease, organ transplant, retake. So all effort had been put into case taking. And then, as you pointed out, that I had my health crisis. At that time, I had a break of 6-8 months, and I was going through all what I have done in 17-18 years. So I looked that I gave this case taking. In spite of that, I still have failures. Failures, especially in cases where the left brain is very dominated, like homeopaths, psychiatrists, allopathic doctor, physicists, or people with a knowledge. So they come to me, let's say a homeopath, and he tells me this is my location, sensation, modality, concomitant. And he is genuine and he's giving me right. Then he tells me this is my generals. Then he tells me this is my mental symptoms. And he also tells me this is my holistic symptom. All what I need, he gives me. I take that and give a remedy based on that. Still nothing happens. And many goes to even with all this to the source of the remedy. Still nothing happens. I said, why this is happening? Where these homeopaths are genuine, I myself is genuine in putting my effort of case taking. Now that's where I realized that most of us talk from left logical learned brain. All comes from that. So I only remember that symptom which I think is peculiar. Only those dreams which I think is peculiar. And I see a pattern running which I think is peculiar. It's all coming from here and not from a spontaneous natural brain, which is, the original unmodified us. So then I started this whole journey that I need a method along with my existing system where I can get patient's symptom, especially in such cases where I get natural, spontaneous, peculiars at local, general, whole level and That pattern I match with the remedy and not coming from the only logical. This was the whole journey.
It's very interesting, and the contents of this book were structured in a very unique way. Integrate holistic approach, um, like multi-dimensional approach, journey thus far with further refinements, the right brain approaches, and many the concept of designer's diary, Mary Kitab. It's very interesting, and the experiences from the practical workshops and illustrative cases. So, Dr. Dinesh, how this book is different, and would you like to say a little bit about the 14 brain techniques or tips, please?
Yes. So I started this book with the idea that how I will remove peculiars of a patient from that natural, spontaneous them and not from a learned brain. So I needed all the methods which can make your day-to-day situations, your logic aside or calm down that time, and answer come from that natural space, real original you. So this book is designed in that way, that what is this method, when I use this method, how in my existing or in your own day-to-day case taking, how you can use it, and then when to use and which method to use. So when that was clear to me, I developed around 13 methods with many questions in each method, which can take patient into the spontaneous natural space to answer, so that the answer comes from that. So there are 13 main method, and each method has around 10 to 20 questions which you can use. Like one of them is deep pathology, how to explore chief complaint. We all explore chief complaint: location, sensation, modality, concomitant, right? Now, why can't you know with each person with a deep pathology, when they first hear, they have a first vision, first thought, first feeling, first image, first peculiar right there. But since we don't put attention there, the logic takes over. They only give us an answer of the doctor has said or what logically accepted. So like that, first thought, first feeling, first. Then when they are left in an alone space, such patient, with us they speak language of the disease, but when they are alone, they imagine worse, they think worse, they fear worse. So I use that alone space. When they're alone, what happens? So like that, there are 50 questions where you can bring it out. Like,
How is it? Sorry to
yeah, go on.
interrupt you, Dr. Dinesh. Like sensation method is a common term which many of homeopaths using and trying. In what way it will be different from that method and the way you explore?
So here the inner sensation method, what we are trying to do is trying to get PQRS, peculiars, characteristic at a whole level. That is the language of the sensation in a, for a common Hahnemannian homeopath. Yeah. But how do I know that this holistic sensation coming from learned brain, because I'm homeopath and I'm trained in sensation method, or I've read that book, or because I know what it is, I'm telling. So in order to differentiate, is it coming from the learned brain or the illogical natural brain? This is the method to bring out there. So aim is same, bring out the holistic sensation, but in a spontaneous way, in a what I call the right brain approach way.
And let me tell you, like a few things which made me like the holistic car with two travelers pick. And the example of Narada and Garuda, each page is such a beautifully, no one can stop it. They keep on reading and they get so much. It's very interesting. And so that is very interesting how it is with the advanced concepts of understanding and the getting into this entertaining stories and comparing with the real life experiences. It is really great, especially the mythological stories, fairy tales, pictures, practical tips. So, and anything more would you like to say, especially
So,
for the new generation?
so the idea is, see, I'm giving this, we are talking about this after using this concept for 8 years. Already 800 plus copy has been sold. 8 reviews in the international journal either published or in a part process of publishing in next 1 or 2 months. Two, all my masters from Jeremy Sher to Misha Norland to Dr. Shankaran, who and many of my colleagues who teach with me all over, one book has reached to them and my Indian and the American and the international students. And once the feedback had come and after publishing it also 6 months are over, I felt this is the right time to now talk about. Otherwise, if I start right at the beginning, I'm selling the book. Now, with this all thing in place, you can talk about it, that experience, the look. For example, if you see my website, can I share? Just that,
Please, I would like to
if
ask us next. Yeah, please.
yeah. So if you see, this is the my website where you have this section called books and the courses. So if you go on an international, you have all the books there, and you go to the right brain, yeah, you have this whole thing. What is this? With a video there. Then what Jeremy Sher has spoken, from Harry Vander Z to many of my international colleagues, to review by Vatsala Doctor and an interview by her, to many other reviews by in different languages, with all the feedback what they keep running here. And if you can keep seeing, like this, what they have spoken about it in Indian and
Incredible,
international.
Doctor. Dr. Dinesh,
Yeah.
this is incredible and such an all
To
nice
to to
approach.
if you go further, so I'm just trying to say about the book, Jeremy, Misha, and here is the book, how it is different, what you are asking. So, there are methods which are of a case taking, which you can apply in your day-to-day practice. Artistic, unique methods to bring out peculiars, real peculiars, original, unmodified peculiars. So initially the concept, what is, how I understand homeopathy, this methods, to the cases are there for each method with a systematic steps there. Two, then when you go, there is a one very, so the cases are there. So these are the cases. So if you go further, there are do it yourself. Now this is what is a section where homeopaths who are reading this book, they can make their own tailor-made designer diary, and in between their personal professional space, in their day-to-day life, when there is an imbalance, they can apply this and see what PQR is coming. And that way scattered PQR is coming, and gradually they see their pattern. They stay with that, and maybe they find their own simillimum, match there. Like that. So that is the next, which is, and then there is a practical part that I do. These are the cases, and then there is a practical part where how to apply this by, creating a 3-4 days of workshop by walking on a mountain, or on a forest train or a flat this, and apply this in your own life. That's the whole, that's where I thought it has for homeopath as well as for patient, both simultaneously. I think, and that's the reason why I wrote this.
Totally agree, Dr. Dinesh. And the examples also, like Kumari example, and you have shown the slides with how the each one little bit, and each chapter has a theme, like art in the part, like chapter 9, just to take an example, and chapter 10, pattern in profession, and each thing, like say, like Lord Shiva, the example which you have showed, like how he destroyed the 3 cities of Tripura with single arrow, and how, like, compared to our mind body, and which represents that Tripura, and when we stay with the patient patiently, transformation occurs, and we can reach to the center and find the perfect minimum. That is really, um, it's easy that, like, we feel like we have to get into that space.
No, yeah. The idea was that, some people told me, one American friend, that it is, your books are not only scientific, and he's way from a scientific background. I said, no, I need both the art and science, the story and this, the pictures and this, and that represent us, which is our science. Like that.
Absolutely true. And
See, for example, if you know, our webinar is on what?
oh,
Our
on
webinar.
April 9th, right? Yes, it is a very interesting topic, and it is a integrative holistic approach in wisdom age, old age.
Exactly. So that is what, and that is where, for example, that imagine an old age. Can you ask them where there is a degeneration already taking place? Their recent memory is intact, but the past memory is intact, but the recent memory is going. So how you design question in first part of case to guide them so that they speak their heart out, natural them, and not the what they've learned from the life, just the situations. So what to ask in first part, for example, that the first part, it is like, sir, if I tell you to go back to your memory lane and go to your golden moments of your life, go there and see what really speaks about which were original you, like that 15 original question to start with, and then guide them with right brain or different methods. Then to have a diary for them so that they note down PQRS in a systematic way in a different sections. Then to guide them at that age how to reverse back, and some of them to write their own autobiography, some of them to write their own, bring back them to hobby along with their simillimum space. That will be great. This is what I think, not only to give them a remedy for those degenerative diseases, but to bring them back. That is what I will be sharing there.
That is really wonderful, Dr. Dinesh. And the take-home message of Goddess Saraswati symbolism is that wholesome knowledge is an amalgamation of art and science, of logic and non-logic, of intellect and intuition, of rational and irrational, as you mentioned in the book. And creating that space in the case witnessing process is it's really interesting, in the sense, like, you get the left brain set aside and then go with the spontaneity of the right brain.
Perfect, perfect. And that's the reason why I kept now a webinar on the right way of using right brain approach in homeopathy. Now, where we already have 130 plus participants with 100 plus from 20 plus countries, especially both those who have the book and those who don't have the book, so that I can take them further now to the next journey. Till now, I've not done a single webinar. So now I think since they have gone through and it's 6 months, it will be a lovely dialogue there. So that's, and take them to new methods. So that's what. So I'm looking forward to your our 9th April one. And before that, we have this, what Dr. Riddhi has just shared here, So like that.
That is amazing, Dr. Dinesh. And can I tell you something interesting? Since after I start reading this book, I was reconnecting myself through the right brain approach. Like when I got moved to USA in 1998. So,
Mm,
but basically, long story short, how I balance my life holistically and harmoniously. And I took a challenge that working
uh,
both IT industry and homeopathy and made a
uh,
book after 10 years beyond the limits, a challenge to prove oneself that was in
mm,
2011 that was donated as a gift to the society.
mhm.
And all this is through when I was just reading that book and then connected what is going on with me. And that is to change the world or to give a message to the world. Then after 10 years break, I took challenge again to
Oh,
work in IT industry and remain as a passionate, dedicated homeopath. And again,
mhm.
right brain and left brain. And again, a dose of spirituality with Kavitha has come up. So basically, the purpose of life for what we are, existence. So finding that purpose, that is what I figured it out through the spirituality. And I would highly encourage everyone to take an opportunity to read this book, and it can be a game changer and it will be very useful and in their practice and for their patients. So and thank you so much, Dr. Dinesh, for having with us today and sharing your knowledge, and we look forward to do many more book reviews with you soon. And would you like to give any final message to the millennials or to anyone?
First of all, thank you, Dr. Kavitha, to share this experience of yours. It's very important, and this is what very important for people also, that next 40 to 50 years, all beginners or millennials, they will spend more than 8 to 12 hours a day, more time than they will spend with their loved one in homeopathy if they're practicing. Then the homeopathic space or consulting room should be vocation, vacation plus profession, where art and science come together, where while treating them logically, I'm also developing my other side, spontaneous side, and I balance both. And I see patient from that both space and not from that book centric space. That way, in an interview, there are two people presenting where one is balanced, one is trying to balance, and it will create a beautiful simillimum space. So this is what, if that is there in your heart, and not only just that I need to treat his illness, then yes, this book is for them, and practice what you were also trying to, where the balance start coming. So this is the whole message for them.
Absolutely true. And and would you like to announce any more upcoming, Dr. Dinesh? I think there is one in Germany, right? Yours in
Germany,
April?
yeah, but before that, I can just share this, which is in just in March end.
Sure.
Here, this is, if you see, that's the video, which is, uh, it's about, this is here is then all right. It's because we are talking about this book, I thought we will first focus on this. So one is this, where we are doing this, how to apply the right way of using right brain approach in their practice, in day-to-day practice, in a cases where they fail, in a cases where the left brain come in between, whether in acute, chronic, old age, deep pathology, one-sided disease, doesn't matter. These are the ones where with homeopath, with psychiatrists, those with logic, these are the areas where this is can be used beautifully. So what to ask, when to ask, how to use this method, how to design the questions, and how finally, while doing this 3 days, we have our own diary, so that in between we also note our own PQRS to see if we can apply in our life like this. So this was the whole, this is there. On 31st March to 1st and 2nd April in evening India time 7 to 9:30, where already, as I said, more than 20 plus country of people have registered. Just go through it. There is a direct link there. And Germany, what we are doing is, me, Dr. Shankaran, Dr. Farooq Master, and some more German and international homeopaths, we come together and we are speaking on how to treat the autoimmune diseases with principles of homeopathy, with maybe someone with sensation method, with my topic is integrative holistic approach in immune disorder, how to do case taking with chief complaint and exploring to the whole, how to design case taking in such patient, and how to select postology in such patient. So this is there in Germany. I'm sure I don't have right now the brochure, but I can send it to you and you can share with them. Since there are
Definitely,
many
Dr.
teachers.
Yeah, I think Dr. Riddhi has shared that in the chat,
Already.
and
Okay.
yes, we will announce that one, and we look forward to see you soon in April. And as Dr. Rajan Shankaran, as you're saying, and Dr. Manish, I
Farooq
think,
Master.
Mission Norland, everyone has come on our webinar and they have enjoyed. Recently, last month, Dr. Fredrickson. So we look forward to see you soon, Dr. Dinesh, and with many more book reviews and webinars. Thank you so much once again, and for having with us today and on this special book, Right Brain Approach.
My
See you
pleasure.
soon, Dr. Dinesh.
Thank you. Take care, Dr. Kavitha. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.